You're going to meet a young lady that is robust, strong, and would do anything for you. And you're going to be very impressed when you meet her.
Jack and Nancy Flannery exemplified servant leadership, commitment to our community, and the YMCA's core values of honesty, caring, respect, and responsibility. For those reasons and more, the Lawrence County YMCA is pleased to honor their legacies with an annual award. This year's recipient is Cara Atkinson, founder, president, and CEO of the Club Hope Foundation. Through Club Hope, Cara has built more than a charity. She's fostered a community bound by empathy, compassion, and tangible support. We are proud to honor Cara, not only for her visionary leadership and service, but for embodying the heart of our mission, nurturing hope, healing, and a stronger, more connected community.
It was 2007, and I was just going for a regular gynecology appointment, and the doctor found a cyst on my thyroid. Those are very common, so a lot of people told me, don't worry, probably just a nodule, nothing big. I did have a needle biopsy. They told me everything was okay, and all of that. So about a couple months later, that was October, by March, it had filled back up and I needed another needle biopsy. And that time they said they noticed some different colored fluid or things like that. I asked the doctor if he could remove it, and he sadly, very not nicely, gave me a card and said, if you'd like it out for cosmetic reasons, here's a card for a second opinion. And I was just shocked because cosmetic was not even a thought. I just wanted something out of my body that wasn't supposed to be there.
Cara's always been a very strong person in her feelings. She has really good intuition. So, there were a few doctor's appointments where they said, you're fine, everything's fine, but she just had a feeling, like she knew that something else wasn't quite right.
As soon as I heard it, I didn't feel right about it. So I said to my mom, because I'm so blessed, I got a teaching job right out of college. I'm 45 minutes from Pittsburgh and a $15 copay. Let's go get the second opinion. I actually saw Dr. Robert Ferris, who was in charge of Hillman's immunotherapy research later on after my experience with him.
He took just part of the thyroid, and she didn't have any cancer left, so she didn't need any follow-up treatment, and she just has to take Synthroid.
And I was standing at the Elwood City pool watching daycare kids swim when he called me from California to tell me that he did consult with a bunch of other doctors, but there was a small amount of cancer in the cyst, but because it was contained in the cyst, he felt like I didn't need any more treatment.
So she said, Mom, I have to do something. God's telling me. He saved me. I have to help people.
I didn't feel like there was even a choice. I had to do something. I was very blessed, and although I was getting the ultrasounds and the blood work, is that really that bad compared to what it could have been? Absolutely not. So that's when my family came out of me, my pap, my grandma, my dad, my mom getting involved in things, and all of that just came out, and it was like, okay, let's do what we do, and that's give back, because we were blessed in a huge way.
Volunteering and lending a helping hand is just something that our family does.
Definitely grew up in a very close Italian Catholic family that was very involved in the church. That was where it all started. My grandfather grew flowers for the church down there in Coppell, PA. My dad then became involved as well. So my grandparents did the ZD dinners. They were on all the different committees and involved in all the different organizations. My pap started Christmas in July for special needs people down in Coppell too. So it's just always in our blood, I guess, to be giving.
And when our church did events, our family was the ones involved, and that started with my grandfather. We kind of learned from him, and we were all involved.
Faith in God has been a part, like I said, handed down from our parents, who church was intimate with all of us.
St. Teresa's in Coppell. Everything was done through the church. And as we got older, we'd do Sunday dinners where it was ZD dinners, so you knew that's where you were going to be all day on Sunday.
It's just the way the family was. Really. They were a very giving family, and we in turn learned all that. My husband grew up in it. His dad didn't have very much growing up, and so he knew what it was like to not have, a lot of food.
It makes you feel like you're following in the footsteps of your grandparents, that you kind of they showed you the way, you want to continue that.
I am so beyond blessed with the family that I have. Not all families would be jumping in and doing the things that mine do. They were asked if they wanted to start one at their school. Jace was. And he said, "Oh, my teacher talked to me about starting a Club Hope." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what do you think about that?" "I don't know." I'm like, "All right, well, just let me know what you're thinking, or if you want to talk about it or whatever." He's quiet for a couple minutes, because that's Jace. He thinks everything through. I think I want to do it. I was like, my mother heart in me wanted to just jump out, because I'm like, I never want to force it on them. I always want them to want to come. Cooper was at football watching Jace once, and his practice was he didn't make playoffs, Jace did. So him and a couple buddies were at the football field. And I said, "Oh, I got to run down to the Club Hope office. You're going to stay here with Daddy." He's like, "Well, can me and Jace and Jeffrey come with you?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm never going to tell him, no, don't come down and do something good." So he brought the boys down. They made cards, they made crafts, and they asked if they could come again. And Jace doing that, Cooper doing that, there's nothing better. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do if they're asking to do those things. The way Club Hope started was that a girl that I was going to Slippery Rock University with, she was diagnosed at the exact same time that I was. And they talk about survivor's guilt, and that moves you to do things. I know now, I used to say that in interviews, but now I know it's more God pushing me in the right direction to do something, when how am I so blessed that I only had surgery and found out that it was there whenever it was already out of me. And so many people are faced with such harder treatment plans, and they find out that it's there when it's still inside.
This isn't kind of a distant thing for Cara, but she sees the suffering with the eyes of Jesus Christ, and the love of Christ impels her to do something about it. So very much her faith is the energy that's kind of thrusting her forward, right?
I never wanted to teach high school. I got moved to the high school by chance. It's never by chance, by God, to teach high school special ed that year. And I was like, okay, I'm at a high school. At the high school, they have clubs. So let's start a club and get the kids involved, so that we could help the girl who was diagnosed at Slippery Rock, who was going through extensive treatments. Pittsburgh couldn't even help her. She had to go to Boston. And her family was doing the rubber bracelets that a lot of people do that said Lizzie Strong. And how could I only send $5 for a bracelet? Okay, we're gonna do more. We're gonna start a club, we'll get the kids involved. One of the things that you have to have from the very beginning of a cancer diagnosis is hope. If you defeat yourself before you even start the journey, it's not a good one. And so many, now that I talk to so many healthcare professionals who are on the front lines, they stand by that so much. If it's your attitude plays such a huge part. So what do we want to give people through this club? We want to give them hope. And at the first meeting, students were lined up outside the door. There wasn't even enough room.
Cara gets mad when I say this, but she kind of looked at me and said, "You're my PR representative. Have fun." 7th grade, you're going, "Oh, okay, Cara," but it was always so much fun.
The kids were impacted in a very large way. And so we thought, okay, we're at Elwood City High School. We're going to do a couple odds and ends things. We started sending flowers to patients in Elwood, edible arrangements, gift cards for gas or meals to help them while getting treatment. And we thought, okay, this is what we'll be doing. The first level of help that we do, which is the encouragement level. Our very usual way of doing the encouragement level is a box of hope, and it's filled with items to help them through treatment, soups, lotions, Epsom salts, crackers and things like that, ginger chews, because they get pretty nauseous sometimes from the chemo and things like that. And then it has a $100 Giant Eagle card usually, especially if they're from our area, but that can help with gas, groceries, or meals for them. So we look at that as our primary card that we get, just because it helps them in multiple ways.
Club Hope came into my life at a pivotal moment whenever I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. I was having a little rough day after going wig shopping, and I was sitting outside on my swing, and a car pulled down my driveway, and out comes Lisa. and introduced herself and said she was a volunteer for Club Hope and that she had a bag of hope for me. And that made my bad day turn into such a hopeful day.
When I was diagnosed in 2016 the first time, she reached out to me and sent me the bag of hope and flowers, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And after that, I just wanted to give back. Once I was better and was able to help, I was able to give back by volunteering for whatever needed done. I think the name speaks for itself, Box of Hope. It gives them hope to know they're not alone. It gives them hope that they can get through this without somebody there with them at all times. Yeah, just courage, gives them strength.
When you look across the desk at a doctor and he gives you the cancer word, your world changes at that point in time. Every aspect of your life changes. I was going through treatment and everything, and a friend of mine whose wife volunteered here, he called and he says, I have something for you. And he said, can I bring it over? Well, he brought it over, and it was one of the bags that and with what they had in there and the gift card, I just was taken back.
Had the most precious thing in that were the homemade cards from children throughout the community. I still have them today. I still go through my box and read them. That was the most impactful thing in the bag.
They're doing so many wonderful things. And the homemade cards and the homemade gifts from the kids at school, the crafts that they put together, and the words that they write on the back are amazing. You would not think that a 5 or 6 year old would put that much love into a writing on the back of a card or a craft, but it's amazing. And the people that receive them will comment all the time how that helped them.
It is so extremely important to know that there are people out there even teaching younger kids to be compassionate, to be empathetic, to make them understand that there are a lot of people around them that are a lot worse off, and we're trying to make a difference in those lives.
She wanted to show them what it was to give back.
You expect to get the thank you cards for the $100 gift card and all those big things, but it's the notes that we get that say, they actually are written to the student who wrote it. Dear so-and-so from this school, thank you for thinking of me and creating that craft, and oh, the words on your card, I hung it on the fridge. So we really did try to think of the small things. That is where it started. That was its intentions. My dad, the treasurer, said, sure, I'll get on board for something that, we're doing little odds and ends for people. I mean, my dad's always been about service. And then in December, when I said, hey, Dad, what do you think about buying a building? He was like, what happened to flowers and edible arrangements?
Then it's getting bigger. People start putting in her ear, this could be a big thing. Maybe you could turn this into a club like some of those clubs that are all the schools. So that's in her head, and Cara's so she says yes, so she starts branching out. All right, and then somebody floats an idea in her ear. This could become like those cancer foundations. There's so many of them now that give back. Cara gets that idea in her mind, and she's going for it.
She had the club at Lincoln High School, and it was just growing, with Cara, people following her. It caught on, and there was more funds being donated. It was getting to the point where something had to happen, and
I said, hey, do you think that we could try starting a cancer foundation? And he was like, I don't even remember him batting an eye.
Start the foundation, doing it from home, growing. Now we move into a rental place over on the other side of Elwood.
So I asked a friend who worked for the Eric Ryan Corporation, Mr. Keith Venezi, who's one of our biggest donors still. He had a little room. When I say room, it was literally the size of a bedroom or smaller.
The room was so small. Well, we got a lot done in that little room.
Yes, the little tiny room where it all started. And then we took over a couple other rooms, and here we are now in the new building.
We don't have the cure. We can't fix them. we wish we had a magic wand to take it all away from everybody. But we don't. So we just put our hearts in it and soul, and Cara does the same. She doesn't give up.
The first year, we spent on things that we gave out around $8,000. This was in 2018. Now, we started in March, but we gave away about $8,000. Fast forward to 2024, we gave out over $150,000 in gift cards, chemo bags, sent people special treatment that someone was going to in Florida. We've helped someone keep their car so they could get to their treatments. We had someone that could lose their apartment because they couldn't afford their rent. Someone was going to have their gas turned off. We helped assist with that. You know, where it has gone from, you know, we're not the American Cancer Society. We can't do grants. We can't do research. We thought, all right, we'll start with this little niche, that little thing that no one else is doing. You know, if somebody needs it.
So I always like to tell people the first way we help is sending that box and the gift card. And then if there are little things that come up or even big things that come up, we might not be able to fully pay for everything, but we will find a way to try to help you pay for as much as we can. So we've purchased equipment in the home, like ordering transfer seats, walkers, rails we've had installed for people so that they can get off the toilet or out of the tub or out of bed.
I feel like the Club Hope can do anything. I really do. I think they've involved so many different cancer centers since they started with me at Beaver. They started at Beaver, UPMC Beaver Radiation Department and Medical Oncology, and then they have expanded to so many other centers within Allegheny, within UPMC, bringing hope to so many different centers and so many different people. I think the sky's the limit.
Around 30 schools, churches, and daycare centers that work with us, over 17 different treatment facilities in Lawrence County, Beaver County, Butler County, Allegheny, Mercer, Washington, Westmoreland. And then if you live in that area and you support us and somebody you know or love is impacted by cancer, we have sent out of state as well. So little old Elwood City Club Hope has blossomed. She gives with her whole everything. There is not the word no in Cara's vocabulary. Cara will always say yes and then figure it out later. Anybody who needs anything, anybody in the family, anybody in the community, anybody in her life, she'll say yes, and then she'll go, we'll figure it out. It's totally gonna work out, but I'm still gonna say yes.
Well, the biggest thing around Cara is you got to tell her, Cara, slow down, I'm old. Because if you try to keep up with that young lady and how she keeps going, I don't know.
She is the Energizer Bunny. There are times that I have to go, I'm gonna look at my calendar and I'll get back to you. I usually try to say yes because I'm not always the yes initially kind of person. But she pushes me to say yes more, and I love her for that. Everybody should be individualized, and Cara is authentically Cara.
And sometimes we joke, my oldest sister Nikki and I are sometimes a little more, oh, I just want to sit head home and hang out, and Cara's like, yes, let's get all the people, we're going to do all the things. And sometimes we tease her about that.
As much as Cara does for the foundation is you know, just a grinder for it and knows forward, she's like that with our fun life too, right? So we go to camp, it's like, hey John, can you put the boat in the water? Hey, let's go fishing. Hey, let's go hiking. I'm like, I just want to lay on the couch. and we've gotten to the point in our relationship, she's like, hey, I'm going fishing, I'll be at this spot, if you want to come later on, come. So yeah, there's no stopping that girl.
I always say he's the only one that could be my husband.
John and I, we're super tight still. I mean, we've been best friends probably since around middle school age when we first kind of met each other, and we've been tight forever. And I mean, when they first started dating and they decided that they actually sat me down and told me that they were gonna date, I told Cara, looked her straight in the face, I said, if you guys break up, I'm picking John over you, because that's just how our group of friends is. But
I am someone who has an idea and does whatever I can to make the idea happen. And that's not always easy. It takes sacrifice. It takes time away from hobbies or things like that. I think he knows, I know he knows in his heart of hearts that it's making us better in so many ways, and strengthening us.
Doing something like this, you get, it's not always a success story with cancer. A lot of the times it's not a good one. So the patience she deals with, handling all those different things, because if she was just a knee-jerk reaction type of person, it wouldn't work. So she lets things sink in. She back to the silver lining of things, the good in things, and I think that's what I admire most about her. The fight through adversity and stuff like that. So
just be positive all the time.
Positive all the time, unless it's me. She could be negative, not much, but if she is negative, it's me.
There's so many times I've seen Cara stand up on a stage and cry, emotionally cry, because there are so many people that she's developed tight relationships with that have lost their battle. And a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle that. I mean, when you see hurt and pain and suffering from people fighting this horrible disease on a daily basis and continue to go back and continue to do it, I think that takes a lot of courage. Just like the nurses that are there and the doctors that are there, I give all those people credit, but they're there to make a living for their kids. Cara doesn't get anything really out of this except the fact that she tried to help that person, and she tried to just give them a glimpse of hope, a glimpse of something good when they're going through the worst part of their lives. But the courage she has is a different kind of courage, because she's able to go into something, know that she's gonna lose. You know what I mean? What she does, people are going to pass away. She's going to lose the people that she's developed relationships with, and she still goes back and does it all the time and every day. And that takes a special person to be able to do something like that.
Cara, she keeps going. And I mean, she has some hard days. She does have some hard days, but she gets right back on the horse. She just keeps moving, because this is her baby. She has built this from infancy.
She's had points in her life where she's like this is a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I think John, her husband, and her kids, they see what she's going through, but she just keeps pushing forward. She's making it all work. Whether it be like her delegating, saying, can someone help me with this because I got way too much on my plate right now. But she just continues to push forward, because I feel like she, this is what she's been chosen. And she's doing a great job, even though she won't admit that, she's doing a great job doing what she's doing.
I have to say, they already know this. I told them we received an award, because there is I might do the behind the scenes work and things like that, but those boxes are not getting filled. This office is not getting put together and kept up. There are not enough hours in a day to try to be a full-time teacher in a cyber school and run a foundation that isn't just doing minor things and be present like I want to be for my kids. Without volunteers, there is no Club Hope Foundation. They literally are my family. There's a group of about 14 of them, and it continues to grow. And that's just the ones that come here during the week, but they are the best. And they come here, they do the crafting, they fill the boxes and write all the addresses on and fill them up. And people have said we can tell that these were filled with love. And that's what our core group of volunteers, they just are love.
I can't even put it into words, how big it's gotten and how much love goes out this door. It's crazy. And how many people volunteer now, and how many good people I've met and good friends that I've met through here. The love that comes in this room is amazing.
The moment I decided to be involved with Club Hope Foundation was the minute I received my bag. And going through the bag with my husband, I remember telling him, this is it. I'm going to get through the end of my journey and hopefully help somebody else through their journey.
Everybody working for the same cause, because a lot of us understand, and those that don't understand or don't have it understand because they're with a partner that's going through it. And it's no easier for your spouse than it is you.
The volunteers have to get a lot of the credit because they are inspiring. I mean, because most, if not all of them, have walked the walk. They've had the cancer, they've dealt with, they've overcome, and they want to give back. And they feel that this is their way of giving back to the next person, the next couple, the next family that's dealing with that sort of thing. So while what our family does is wonderful, and Cara is the point, but the next most important group is the volunteers. They're here daily.
I think Cara thrives on having a community around her to talk to and to reach out to and to support her. We thrive on our communities, we do. We know that we have a lot of people that will always have our back.
I would say out of the hundreds to this point, thousands of people she's helped, I bet you 75 to 80% she has a personal relationship. They're probably in her phone. She probably talks to them all the time and tries, I feel like, her best to develop relationships with these people, so they're not just getting a check or getting a gift card, they're getting a relationship along with it.
Cara's really good at loving. She loves everybody. She loves God, she loves Jesus, she loves her family, she loves her friends, she loves her job. She will find the best in anyone, and I think that's why she says yes all the time.
Oh, I can't even put into words what Cara's doing, because she's just, I don't know how she does it all. It's amazing. It's amazing. She's a godsend, and we tell her all the time, and she doesn't take any credit. She said it's all, it's all Jesus, it's all God that is leading her. And so we're just following her. She's our, she's a great disciple, and we are just following along, so.
She's a dynamo. Yeah, you just want to be around her, want to be, I want her to run everything. It's like she could, I think she could do whatever she felt God was calling her to do. It's like, okay, God, if God was calling her to, build orphanages in a really far away country, I'd be like, okay, I think she can do it. So, yeah, she's a total dynamo and full of faith and full of fire. And I think one thing that I really appreciate about her and her family, her husband, is just their honesty and their authenticity.
Great. I mean, she is very selfless and gets everything done. Now I might get yelled at every once in a while, but that's the nature of being married.
I'm so proud of her because she has been one of the best children I could have. She's so caring and has the biggest heart, and I look up to her sometimes because she impresses me so much.
I think Elwood City's a treasure, and I think Club Hope's a treasure within it. And, look, I've been a lot of places and encountered a lot of different organizations. I have not met a Club Hope. I have not met an organization with this mission and this call that is just so beautiful and compassionate.
Oh, what a beautiful soul. She's amazing.